Thank you for joining us for this Repertoire Podcast. And now, your host, Scott Adams.
Hey everybody, Scott Adams here with Repertoire Magazine. I'm happy to be here today with Miss Audra Jones, who is the Senior Vice President and Head of North America for QuidelOrtho. Audra leads the commercial business strategy for North American region and is responsible for driving growth, performance in the company's largest region. She has over 20 years of diverse sales, marketing, and leadership experience in the vitro diagnostic and pharmaceutical industry. She has demonstrated a record of success in achieving operational and revenue targets. I've talked with Audra several times on a personal level as well as on a business level, and she's brilliant. We are very excited to have this conversation around where QuidelOrtho is today, kind of where she's taking them, and where her leadership is going to help them grow and thrive in the future, as well as talking about some advice that she has for younger leaders that are coming up within the industry. So here we go with Audra Jones. Audra, thank you so much for being on the program here with me today. I am looking forward to our conversation, and it's so good to see you.
Scott, it's great to see you as well. Thanks for having me on the show today. I look forward to our conversation.
What part of the world are you in today?
I am up in Delaware today. I'm fortunate enough to share my time between Delaware and Florida, and today I'm in the sunny.
It looks sunny behind you.
Absolutely.
It looks beautiful out.
Yeah.
I just got back from HIDA this week. This was HIDA week, so lots and lots of meetings. I got to meet with your team, had great conversations with James, and it seems like you guys have a lot going on and a lot of exciting stuff to come.
Well, yeah, thanks for bringing that up. The HIDA organization is very important to us. We really work closely with them on several fronts, not only just from a partnership aspect like the meetings today, but they're also a great educational partner for us. And so we really appreciate those experiences.
Absolutely. I asked you where you were today and you said that, but kind of you live in between both. What are some of your passions just from a personal standpoint before we get into the business conversation?
Yeah, personally, I really enjoy the artistic community. And so I have a passion for local artists. And so
nice.
The communities that I spend time in are very grounded in the local artist community. And then on top of that, I'm one of the rare people that still loves to cook. So
you and I have a lot in common then, because I like to cook a ton. In fact, I have some videos out of me cooking during COVID that we put out on Repertoire. I haven't done them in a while.
That's awesome. I'll have to check those out. Maybe we'll have a cooking contest sometime on one of your podcasts. That'd be fun.
I'd love to do that. Yeah. Back during COVID, my youngest son was still living with me. He was still in college, and he's a videographer. He's actually who will produce this podcast for us. His biggest customer is iHeartRadio, but I get him to moonlight for me on the side to help me with these. And just out of boredom, we're like, you want to just shoot some video of me grilling or cooking or whatever? And so it ended up being a hit during COVID. Yeah.
That's great. Well, thanks for sharing that with me, and congratulations to your son on such a great profession. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's loving it. He's followed his passion for sure. My oldest one is in the industry. He actually is a med care rep. So he's working with distribution every day himself, and he loves it. So let's jump into the fans first conversation. Tell me a little bit about how you're leading QuidelOrtho today and where you guys are heading and what fans first really means.
Well, I should probably start with grounding in, where did fans first come from? We've got to give credit to Jesse Cole of the Savannah Bananas, right? We invited Jesse to help us with some of our strategic leadership workshops last year. And Jesse taught us a lot about what is fans first and what does first fans really mean when you're running an organization and when you're engaging with your customers. And I think what we learned most from our engagement and how we are now leading forward is in two ways. One is first fans, and that's really where it starts. It starts in the heart of your employees. And we're very passionate about ensuring that we are developing an organization that employees want to work for QuidelOrtho. But then on the other side of that, also working with our distribution partners as well and the customers that we collectively serve, where they become fans of QuidelOrtho. And even more so when you think about the audience that you serve, I think about how the great partnership between the distribution partners and our sales reps can really deliver that collectively together.
Yeah, one of the overriding themes this past week at HIDA, besides everybody wanting to talk about tariffs, was getting back in the car and doing ride days with reps and distribution reps, and especially as they start hiring these new young folks right out of school, the ability to work with a manufacturer like you folks to help educate them on here's a proper way to go into an account, do ride days, that type of stuff, just builds those relationships that last forever with your partner.
It does. And I think the other thing is, and your sign says it on your back wall, right? Like we're out to solve problems together for the communities that we live in. And not only by the car rides, but having business reviews and understanding the challenges of the customers that we serve is really what makes it powerful. And, distributor partners have a choice on who they partner with, obviously. And, we're passionate about ensuring that we're helping them deliver the right solution to the right customer, which will then therefore serve the communities that we all live in.
Talk to me a little bit about your leadership style, Audra. I know I've had some personal conversations with you offline, but just a little bit how it's different and your approach to leadership.
Well, I think we started out with a little different approach, right? When we talked about Savannah Bananas, one might think, how do you take this, this very eccentric type leadership style and these engagements with the baseball fans, and how do you translate that into a more serious, quality-driven organization? And I think it's really about the way that I encourage my leadership team and myself to look at it. And that's really through creating a trustful environment, but an experimentative environment, right? So don't be guided by your failures. Be willing to wake up every day and say, hey, how can I engage a little bit differently? And how can I challenge the status quo of our organization, but then also how we work with our partners and our customers. And by creating that platform, it's a safe space for people to fail. But then also on the other side of that, sometimes you learn new innovative ways on going to the market and working.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned your passion for artists and just the creativity, being creative when you're out, with folks and doing something a little different. I think never be afraid to do that. It sets you apart from everybody else that's trying to get time with the distribution reps on a regular basis. If you were talking to your 25-year-old self, Audra, or to young females out there, what would be some of your advice for them from a leadership standpoint and as they start to forge their way forward in their career? We have tons of young folks. I almost feel a full shift in our industry coming into the space.
Well, it's exciting to see the shift in the industry because we can also learn from new ways with the new group coming in, to our industry. What I would say to my 25-year-old self is probably what I say to myself today, is have the courage to go out there and do something different and do something new. And don't just fall into the trap of the status quo. And as you approach your career, be fearless. You will evolve in this career, and you sometimes will have to kind of reinvent yourself and you'll have to learn. And so that's the same thing I still tell myself today.
I love it. Yeah. One of my favorites is just don't look back. Once you make a decision, move forward and make the best of that decision that you made and forge ahead. And talking about forging ahead a little bit, how, from a leadership standpoint, how are you driving your team forward?
Well, there's a lot that goes on in this industry, Scott. I would say that you have to be flexible from time to time based on the season. And you brought up tariffs, so that's another good example. Yeah. But I think the big thing in the way I drive my team is I want to make sure that we're driving innovation and innovation not only in the pipeline, but innovation in how that we work every day. And so, and then in addition to that, I would say that, we got to move fast. Like as the industry changes, we have to move fast. And that's the beauty of QuidelOrtho, is that while we are a structured organization, we also have the ability to be agile. And so I encourage my team to approach every problem with a solution-oriented mindset.
Sorry about that. My phone just went off.
That's all right. Did you want me to repeat that answer? Or?
Yeah, I love it. No, that was fine. Just makes it more real.
Perfect.
Sorry about that. I thought I had it turned off. This mic probably didn't pick it up anyways, but just to be careful.
Okay.
The whole audience for this is distribution reps, and I know you guys really focus on engage deeply, but what does that mean to QuidelOrtho?
Well, we don't treat our distributors like it's just another channel that we go through. We treat them as a partner. And we talked about that a little bit at the beginning. I mean, it really means, and you talked about it, about getting out in the field. We haven't left the field with our distributors. That's where we've been all this time. We roll our sleeves up, we get in the trenches with them, and we go out and really drive the mission of QuidelOrtho, which is creating a healthier future for all. And we embrace our distributors to help us do that.
Yeah, I got asked this week in one of my meetings with a new potential advertiser, like, who does it the best? And you guys are always one of the ones that I bring up of, these guys get it. You know, they support us, they support HIDA, they support the distribution channel, always have, even with leadership changes throughout. And now post, integration, what are some of the things with the QuidelOrtho team coming together maybe surprised you the most, or some of the most exciting things that you see coming?
Biggest surprise. I guess it's how much customers really loved both of our brands. And that was actually a common ground for us as we integrated as a team, is that each team was very ethnocentric about the brand that they represented. And when you've got a spirit like that, you can really adapt to the market, and you can adapt your team. And for me, I think that's probably our superpower.
Love it. I got two more questions for you.
Okay.
One is specific to distribution and what you want them to leave with after listening to this. But the first one, if you can look in the crystal ball, like next 2-3 years, where do you see QuidelOrtho going, and what are you excited about the most?
We're still going to live on our brand promise. That's where I see us going. I see us continuing to be that dependable partner that our customers can count on. And we're going to continue to listen to our customers and trust the feedback that we get from them. And we're going to adjust accordingly as an organization. But it really starts with that trustful brand promise. And we're going to keep living on that foundation.
Audra, how big this off the cuff here? How big's the sales team?
Overall, we have a fairly large team. I really probably can't get into numbers, but I mean, from a distribution aspect, our entire organization is focused on driving our business. So we don't have a separate channel focus. Again, getting away from channel. The way that we are organized is very much focused on our customers first, and how they want to procure and work with a company. And so our model is very flexible to ensure that we choose the right distributor, or if it be a direct customer as well. But we're really focused on making sure we're organized for the customers.
And then as we close out here, what is a couple of things you want the distribution reps that are listening to this to really take away as they work with the QuidelOrtho folks?
Oh, this is the one. James doesn't want me to get this one wrong, right?
Right. James is big on this one.
He's pretty big on it. Yeah. I mean, just in closing, I mean, it kind of goes back to, I know there's a lot of change right now that the distribution partners are experiencing and our market is experiencing, and we have to adjust. And just note that we continue to be extremely grounded in our ability to help them drive change and complexity. And we should continue as business partners to focus on the patients and the communities that we serve together. And Absolutely. It's just a proud moment for us to be able to have this opportunity to talk to you, and also to address them as well, that we're sincerely appreciative of the business that we do within the distribution market.
Yeah, for sure. I always, especially with these young reps coming, don't be afraid to go into the POL and take your QuidelOrtho rep with you. They're absolutely in the field there to help you and get you in front of those physician office labs and sell more QuidelOrtho stuff in the field for you.
Yeah. Do you mind if we take a moment to talk about that?
No, absolutely.
About that POL market, because That's a market that you asked about commonalities between organizations. That's a market that the vitro solutions for clinical laboratories, our transfusion medicine solutions, and then, therefore all of our respiratory and non-respiratory point of care products, like we really have an ability to partner to drive market share and to drive changes in how we work in those communities. And you mentioned, a little bit first about my background at the beginning of this call. So I come from a rural background. 20% of our patient population in the United States is based in a rural population.
Yeah.
And more are these physician office labs really becoming entrenched in providing the healthcare for our communities as, population health, trying to ensure that we're delivering these solutions. And we've come up with various solutions that are very specific to driving the access to healthcare in these markets. And so when our distribution partners think about helping our collective customers solve problems and get results and access to patients now, I'd like them to think about things like our certified program, which is it's an affordable solution that allows a full menu for customers to be able to offer full tests in their local communities. And that's really what's going to help the U.S. population become healthier. And, and we're all consumers of that, right? So
for sure.
I want to see us working together to drive those high quality solutions. So just, think further about to my partners out there who work with us. When you're looking for a solution in those rural communities, also note that not only is there innovation, there's a strong service model, right? Number one in service, 5 years running. This is an organization that doesn't sacrifice service. We actually hire service and to ensure that we remain a service-minded organization. So that's part of the partnership you get when you work with a distribution partner and QuidelOrtho. So I really want to take a moment just to brag about that.
I love it. I love it. I love that. That was great. Great way to finish. I appreciate your time today, and thank you for spending some time with the Repertoire audience here on the podcast. So really appreciate you and everything you do with us.
Thank you, Scott. Hope you have a great day.
You too. Well, I wanted to say appreciation to Audra for spending that time with me. What a interesting journey she's been on, and a great journey that the QuidelOrtho team has been on. Obviously, they're a big supporter of Repertoire, which means they're a big supporter of distribution. I highly encourage you to get to know your QuidelOrtho rep. Let me rephrase that, and work with them. And don't be afraid to take them into accounts with you, or send them into accounts where you're trying to consolidate services or trying to get a POL to get on board with doing some more in-office testing. They're absolutely willing to get out there and work for you. So good luck selling. We're going into fourth quarter for many of you, third quarter for some of you. Either way, it's the end of the year, and we need to drive hard on sales. So good luck and get out there. Have some fun. Thanks for listening.